The Quantum Whisper. The galactic Concordat surveillance station Omega-7 hung in the void between stars, its massive arrays constantly scanning for signs of emerging civilizations. Director Zixtal, a towering Arcturian with crystalline skin, stood before the main display, their faceted eyes reflecting the soft blue glow of countless sensor readouts. Another primitive species reaching for the stars, they announced to their staff, mandibles clicking in mild amusement. Sector 2187, Sol System. They call themselves humans. The readings showed a curious anomaly. Occasional blips of ships appearing and disappearing from their most sophisticated detection systems. The Concordat sensors were considered infallible, capable of detecting the smallest space debris across light years. Yet somehow, these readings defied explanation. Probably sensor malfunctions, Lieutenant Vera suggested, her tentacles wavering with uncertainty. No emerging species could evade our detection systems. Director Zixtal wasn't so sure. In 3 centuries of monitoring space traffic, they'd never seen patterns quite like this. The human ships seemed to fade in and out of reality itself, like quantum ghosts dancing at the edge of perception. Send a first contact vessel, Zixtal ordered. But have it maintain distance. Something about this feels different. The Concordat's first contact ship, the Luminous Dawn, arrived at the edge of the Sol system 2 cycles later. Captain Yurthak, a veteran of dozens of first contact missions, prepared the standard greeting protocols. These missions usually followed a predictable pattern. Shock and awe the primitive species with their massive ship, establish diplomatic relations, and begin the long process of guiding them into the galactic community. But as they approached Earth's orbit, their sensors detected something unprecedented. Absolutely nothing. According to their scans, Earth had no space fleet at all. Yet their long-range surveillance had clearly shown vessels moving between planets. Impossible, Yurthak muttered, ordering another scan. No civilization can hide an entire fleet. Captain, his sensor officer called out, voice trembling. We're being hailed from what appears to be empty space directly ahead of us. The main screen flickered to life, revealing the human in a simple black uniform. Behind them was a bridge that seemed impossibly small, yet packed with technology the Concordat's experts couldn't even begin to classify. Greetings, Luminous Dawn. I'm Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Shadowdancer. Welcome to Sol System. Yurthak's external membranes flickered in shock. Their sensors still showed nothing there, yet the communication was clear as crystal. How are you doing this? A slight smile crossed Captain Chen's face. Doing what exactly? Our sensors can't detect your vessel. It's impossible to hide from Concordat technology. Impossible is a strong word, Captain Yurthak. Humanity has learned that nothing is truly impossible. It's just that nobody has figured out how to do it yet. As if to emphasize her point, dozens of human ships suddenly materialized around the Luminous Dawn, their sleek forms seeming to coalesce from the void itself. Each was barely a quarter the size of the Concordat vessel, yet they moved with a precision and grace that defied conventional physics. We call it quantum ghosting, Chen explained. By manipulating quantum fields, our ships exist in a state of probability rather than fixed reality. We can choose when and where to fully materialize. The implications hit Yurthak like a plasma burst. These humans hadn't just achieved spaceflight. They'd mastered principles of physics that the Concordat's finest minds had only theorized about. And they'd done it with ships that the Concordat had dismissed as too small to be meaningful. How long have you been watching us? Yurthak managed to ask. Long enough to know that size isn't everything in space warfare, Chen replied. Your massive ships are impressive, but they're also predictable. Easy to track, easy to outmaneuver. We chose a different path. The human ships danced around the Luminous Dawn in an elegant demonstration, appearing and disappearing at will. Each maneuver demonstrated capabilities that should have been impossible for vessels their size. Back at Station Omega-7, Director Zixtal watched the feed with growing amazement. They'd discovered countless species over the centuries, but never one quite like this. Humanity hadn't just reached for the stars. They'd found a way to bend the very fabric of space to their will. "Send word to the Concordat Council," Zixtal ordered. Tell them we found something new, something that will change everything." As the message was sent, more human ships emerged from quantum probability, each one a testament to humanity's unconventional approach to space exploration. They had refused to accept the traditional limitations of physics and engineering, instead forging their own path to the stars. The age of quantum warfare had begun, and humanity had written the first chapter. Ghost Protocol. The Concordat Council chamber erupted in chaos as the holographic display showed the human ships phasing in and out of reality. Counselors from 100 species argued over the implications of this technology, their voices rising in a cacophony of fear and fascination. High Chancellor Merox, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, raised her luminescent form to call for order. "We must approach this situation with clarity," she announced, her voice resonating through the chamber. "These humans have mastered technology we thought impossible. The question now is, what do we do about it?" From the shadows of the chamber, War Master Kroll of the Drachnid Imperium rose, his scaled armor glinting under the chamber's lights. "We crush them now, before they become a true threat. Their quantum technology could render our defensive systems obsolete. And how exactly do you propose to crush an enemy you cannot detect?" Captain Yurthak stepped forward, still shaken from his encounter with the Shadow Dancer. "My ship's sensors couldn't even confirm their existence until they chose to reveal themselves." Meanwhile, aboard the Earth flagship Quantum Whisper, Admiral Elena Santos reviewed the Concordat's encrypted transmissions. Thanks to their quantum communication interceptors, humanity had ears everywhere in the galaxy. Her dark eyes narrowed as she read the latest intelligence reports. "The Drachnid Imperium is mobilizing their fleet," her XO, Commander David Chen, reported. "They're calling it a training exercise, but the numbers suggest otherwise." Elena nodded, unsurprised. "They're afraid, David. And fear makes empires do stupid things." She pulled up a tactical display showing the positions of Earth's quantum fleet. Though invisible to conventional sensors, she could see hundreds of human vessels positioned strategically throughout Concordat space. "Send word to all ships," she ordered. "Initiate Ghost Protocol Beta. Let's show them exactly why fear is the wrong response." Across the galaxy, human ships began their carefully choreographed dance. The Drachnid fleet, comprising over 1,000 massive warships, found their navigation systems simultaneously failing. Quantum interference played havoc with their sensors, making it impossible to maintain formation. War Master Kroll stood on his flagship's bridge, watching in horror as his mighty fleet began to drift aimlessly in space. Every attempt to restart their systems failed. They were blind, deaf, and paralyzed. A communication channel opened on all frequencies. Admiral Santos's voice filled every ship in the Drachnid fleet. "This is a demonstration, nothing more. We could have disabled your weapons, life support, or artificial gravity. Instead, we chose to merely inconvenience you." The quantum interference cleared as suddenly as it had begun. The Drachnid ship's systems came back online, only to find themselves arranged in a perfect sphere, as if some cosmic artist had decided to create a sculpture with their fleet. "Impossible," Kroll whispered. "The power required to move ships of this size is minimal when you understand quantum manipulation," Santos replied. "Your ship's mass becomes irrelevant when you can adjust their quantum probability state. We didn't move them through space. We simply adjusted the probability of where they would be." In the council chamber, the holographic displays showed the entire incident. High Chancellor Merox's energy form pulsed with what might have been amusement. "I believe," she announced, "that we should reconsider our approach to human integration into the Concordat." "They're too dangerous," Kroll protested, his image now projected in the chamber. "This technology, is precisely why we should embrace them rather than fear them. Merox interrupted. Humanity has shown us that our understanding of physics itself is incomplete. They achieve this not through overwhelming force or resources, but through innovation and understanding. Admiral Santos appeared in the chamber next, her hologram standing calmly among the alien counselors. We have no interest in dominance, she stated. Earth seeks collaboration, not conquest. We developed quantum technology not to wage war, but to explore the universe more efficiently. She gestured, and suddenly the chamber was filled with holographic representations of human scientific achievements, quantum computers that could simulate entire universes, medical technologies that could phase cancerous cells out of existence, and ships that could traverse vast distances by sliding between probability states. This is what we offer the Concordat, Santos continued. Not submission to superior firepower, but partnership in pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just developed a new weapon. They'd fundamentally changed the rules of existence itself, and now they were offering to share that knowledge. High Chancellor Merox's form brightened. Perhaps, she said, we have been looking at this all wrong. The question isn't what we should do about humanity. The question is, what can we learn from them? As the Council debated, Earth's quantum fleet remained vigilant, invisible to all but themselves. They had demonstrated their power not through destruction, but through precision and control. It was a lesson the galaxy wouldn't soon forget. Sometimes the most profound strength lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to show restraint. The Ghost Protocol had served its purpose. Now came the harder task, building trust across the quantum divide. The silent strike. The warning came through quantum channels. A massive fleet of unknown origin had appeared at the edge of Concordat space. Unlike anything previously encountered, these ships seemed to consume light itself, leaving trails of absolute darkness in their wake. Initial Concordat defenses had been overwhelmed in hours. Admiral Santos stood in the Quantum Whispers tactical room, studying the three-dimensional projection of the invasion force. The Void ships, as they were now being called, had already consumed 3 Concordat worlds, leaving them cold, dark, and lifeless. They're calling themselves the Umbra, Commander Chen reported, his face illuminated by the holographic display. No demands, no communication. They simply arrive and feed. What about our quantum scans? Santos asked, her fingers tracing the path of destruction. That's the concerning part, Admiral. Their ships seem to exist partly in negative space. Our quantum ghosting can't fully track them. It's like they're drawing power from the darkness between realities. The Concordat Council had convened an emergency session, with representatives from every major species in attendance. High Chancellor Merox's energy form flickered with obvious distress as she shared the latest reports. The Umbra vessels absorb all forms of energy, thermal, electromagnetic, even the basic atomic forces that hold matter together, she explained. Our largest weapons barely scratch their hulls before the energy is consumed. We need humanity's help. Admiral Santos nodded grimly. We've been analyzing their attack patterns. The Umbra ships may be powerful, but they're predictable. They follow the path of maximum energy concentration, like predators drawn to heat signatures. We can use that. The plan came together quickly. While the Concordat fleet would appear to retreat in disarray, Earth's quantum ships would execute a daring strategy. Instead of trying to fight the darkness, they would use it. All ships, initiate silent strike protocols, Santos ordered. Quantum probability fields at maximum dispersion. We're not just going to hide. We're going to become the void itself. The human fleet, already invisible to conventional sensors, took their quantum technology to its theoretical limit. Each ship adjusted its quantum state to match the negative space the Umbra utilized, effectively turning humanity's greatest defensive technology into an offensive weapon. The trap was set as the Umbra fleet approached the Centauri Nexus, a major Concordat energy production facility. The dark ships moved with confident hunger, drawn to the massive power signatures. But as they prepared to feed, something changed. The human ships, phased to match the Umbra's quantum frequency, struck from within the darkness itself. Quantum torpedoes, calibrated to exist in the same negative space, phased through the previously impenetrable hulls. The void ships found themselves being consumed by a darkness deeper than their own. Multiple direct hits, Chen reported, his voice tight with concentration. Their quantum structure is destabilizing. They can't maintain their hold on normal space. The Umbra ships began to fracture, their darkness-consuming properties turning inward. One by one, they collapsed into quantum singularities, consumed by the very void they had weaponized. But victory came with a price. Several human ships, pushed too far into negative space, struggled to return to normal reality. The quantum ghosting technology had never been tested at such extremes. Quantum anchors failing on the Nightshade and Phantom, Chen announced. They're losing their connection to our universe. Santos' fingers flew across her console, implementing an emergency protocol she'd hoped never to use. All stable ships create a quantum resonance field. We're going to give them a path home. The remaining fleet formed a precise geometric pattern, their quantum fields synchronizing to create a stable corridor through probability space. One by one, the trapped ships followed the quantum beacon back to normal space. In the aftermath, as the Concordat celebrated their salvation, humanity faced a sobering reality. Their mastery of quantum technology, while revolutionary, had limits they were only beginning to understand. The universe, it seemed, still held deeper mysteries. High Chancellor Merox approached Admiral Santos in the council chamber. "You risked everything to save us," she said, her energy form pulsing with gratitude. "Some of your ships nearly lost their connection to reality itself." Santos watched as repair crews worked on the damaged vessels, their quantum cores slowly stabilizing. "We did what was necessary," she replied. "But we also learned something crucial. There are places between realities that even we don't understand. The Umbra showed us that our quantum mastery is just the beginning." The Council voted unanimously to share all their scientific knowledge with humanity, hoping to advance quantum research beyond its current limitations. The threat of the Umbra had shown them all that the universe held dangers they could only face together. As the Quantum Whisper's crew conducted repairs, Admiral Santos found herself contemplating the void outside her viewport. They had won this battle by becoming one with the darkness, but what other cosmic forces awaited discovery? The quantum frontier, it seemed, stretched infinitely in all directions, waiting to be explored. The silent strike had succeeded, but it had also opened new questions about the nature of reality itself. Humanity's journey into the quantum unknown was far from over. Echoes of fear. In the months following the Umbra incident, an uneasy peace settled over Concordat space. The void ship's destruction had left behind more than just debris. It had spawned a new understanding of quantum physics that threatened to reshape galactic society. Admiral Santos stood before the combined scientific council. Human and alien researchers gathered to study the aftermath. The holographic displays showed fragments of Umbra technology, still pulsing with traces of negative energy. The void ships weren't just using quantum mechanics. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, Earth's leading quantum physicist, explained. They were exploiting tears in the fabric of reality itself, tears that are spreading. The room erupted in concerned murmurs as Dr. Tanaka displayed the latest sensor data. Across the galaxy, microscopic rifts were appearing, places where the boundary between normal space and the void was growing thin. The Umbra's destruction created a cascade effect. Santos added, "Each ship's collapse opened new wounds in spacetime. If we don't find a way to seal these rifts, everything we know could be consumed by the void." High Chancellor Merox finished, her energy form dimming with concern. But not everyone saw the rifts as a threat. War Master Kroll, who had been quietly building support among militant factions, saw an opportunity. "These tiers are a weapon," he declared in secret meetings, "one that could make our ships as powerful as the Umbras. Why should we seal away such potential?" Through their quantum monitoring network, humanity detected growing unrest. Several concordat species had begun experimenting with the rifts, attempting to harness their power. Ships disappeared into the void, some returning changed, others never seen again. "They're going to trigger a catastrophe," Commander Chen warned, reviewing the latest intelligence. "These rifts aren't just holes in space, they're holes in the laws of physics themselves." Admiral Santos faced a difficult choice. Earth's quantum technology could potentially seal the rifts, but doing so would require revealing the full extent of their capabilities. The process would also be dangerous, requiring ships to operate at the very edge of quantum probability. The decision was made for them when a Drachnid research station, attempting to weaponize a rift, lost containment. The resulting quantum cascade turned an entire star system into a spreading void, threatening to consume everything in its path. "All ships, execute Operation Quantum Shield," Santos ordered. "We're going to show them why some boundaries shouldn't be crossed." Earth's fleet deployed in a massive spherical formation around the expanding void. Each ship pushed its quantum systems to the limit, not to hide from reality this time, but to reinforce it. The technique they had developed to match the Umbra's quantum frequency was reversed, creating waves of positive space that pushed back against the nothingness. From the Quantum Whispers Bridge, Santos watched as human ingenuity faced off against the fundamental forces of unreality. The void fought back, sending tendrils of negative space probing for weaknesses in their quantum barrier. "Hull integrity at 60%, Chen reported, his console sparking as reality itself fluctuated around them. "The quantum core is reaching critical resonance. Hold the line," Santos commanded. "Redirect power from all non-essential systems. We need to give the science team time." Dr. Tanaka and her team worked frantically, using the quantum shield as a framework to knit reality back together. The process was like sewing with space-time itself, each stitch requiring precise quantum manipulation. Throughout the galaxy, other rifts began to seal themselves as the quantum resonance spread. The human fleet had created a template that reality itself was following, healing the wounds left by the Umbra and the misguided experiments that followed. War Master Kroll watched in fury as his secret weapons evaporated. "This is how they control us," he raged to his supporters. "Not through force, but by denying us the power to oppose them." But even he fell silent when the final statistics were revealed. Over 3,000 human ships had been severely damaged maintaining the quantum shield. Hundreds more had nearly been lost to quantum dissolution. The cost of saving reality had been enormous. In the aftermath, Admiral Santos addressed the Concordat Council one final time. "We didn't seal these rifts to maintain power," she explained. "We did it because some forces aren't meant to be controlled. The void between realities isn't a weapon. It's a reminder that there are boundaries even we must respect." The council chambers were quiet as she continued. Earth's quantum technology was developed to explore, to understand, to connect. Yes, it can be used as a weapon. But that was never its purpose. We hide our ships not to deceive, but to minimize our impact on the space we travel through. High Chancellor Mirax's energy form pulsed in agreement. "Perhaps that is humanity's greatest lesson to us. True power lies not in what we can take from the universe, but in what we choose to protect." As repair crews worked to restore the damaged fleet, humanity's position in the galaxy had subtly shifted. They were no longer seen as just masters of quantum technology, but as guardians of reality itself. It was a role they had never sought, but one they would honor. The echoes of fear had been replaced by something stronger: respect for the boundaries that kept existence itself intact, and recognition that some mysteries were better left unexplored. The Quantum Dance. 1 year after the Rift Crisis, the Galactic Concordat gathered for an unprecedented ceremony. The Great Hall of Unity Station sparkled with the combined light of 1,000 species, each representative bringing their own unique radiance to the historic moment. Admiral Elena Santos stood at the podium, her dress uniform adorned with the newly created Quantum Shield Medal. Behind her, through the station's transparent dome, Earth's fleet danced in formation, their quantum fields partially active to create a spectacular display of ships fading in and out of reality in perfect synchronization. Today, we celebrate more than just survival, she began, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber. We celebrate understanding, not just of quantum physics or void technology, but of each other. The holographic displays activated, showing scenes from the past year. Human scientists working alongside alien researchers, sharing their knowledge of quantum mechanics. Earth ships teaching Concordat vessels the basics of quantum stealth. Joint missions to explore the boundaries of known space, now made safer by humanity's protective technologies. When we first developed quantum ghosting, Santos continued, we thought we were just solving a problem of stealth and efficiency. We never imagined it would lead us to fundamental truths about reality itself. High Chancellor Merox floated forward, her energy form particularly bright. Humanity has shown us that true strength lies not in the size of our ships or the power of our weapons, but in the wisdom to know when to use them, and when to hold back. The ceremony marked the official formation of the Quantum Guard, a joint force of human and alien ships dedicated to protecting the boundaries of reality. But it represented something far more significant, a fundamental shift in how species viewed their place in the cosmos. Even War Master Kroll, who had once advocated for weaponizing the void, had found a new perspective. I feared what I didn't understand, he admitted during the ceremony. Humanity taught us that the greatest power lies not in destruction, but in preservation. As if to emphasize his words, a demonstration began outside the station. Human quantum ships paired with traditional Concordat vessels, teaching them a modified version of quantum ghosting technology. The massive alien ships didn't disappear completely, but their energy signatures became muted, more harmonious with the space around them. We call it the quantum dance, Commander Chen explained to the assembled dignitaries, a way of moving through space that respects its fundamental nature, not hiding, not forcing, but flowing with the quantum currents that exist in all things. The display was magnificent. Ships of all sizes and designs moved in perfect coordination, their quantum fields interacting to create patterns visible only to those who knew how to perceive them. It was technology transformed into art. Power turned to beauty. Dr. Tanaka stepped forward to explain the science behind the demonstration. What we've learned from the void ships and the rifts has revolutionized our understanding of space-time. Reality isn't just a fixed canvas we move through. It's a dance partner responding to how we interact with it. The new quantum protocols being implemented across Concordat space weren't just about efficiency or stealth anymore. They represented a fundamental shift in how civilizations approached space travel. Ships no longer forced their way through space. They negotiated with it, reading its quantum currents and flowing along natural probability paths. Admiral Santos watched as the combined fleet executed their intricate maneuvers. This is what we were meant to teach the galaxy, she said softly. Not dominance through superior technology, but harmony through superior understanding. As the ceremony concluded, a new signal was detected at the edge of known space. Unlike the void ship's threatening presence, this energy signature was different, a complex quantum melody that suggested intelligence and purpose. First contact protocols, Commander Chen asked, already knowing the answer. Santos smiled. No, quantum dance protocols. Let's show them who we really are. Earth's fleet moved into position, their quantum fields singing in harmony with space itself. They had progressed from hidden observers to protective guardians, and now they would become teachers, showing new civilizations that the greatest journeys weren't about conquering space, but about becoming one with it. The human ships began their dance, their quantum signatures reaching out to the unknown visitors. In that moment, as reality itself seemed to hum with possibility, Humanity's true gift to the galaxy became clear. They hadn't just mastered quantum technology, they had transformed it from a tool of power into an art of connection. The quantum dance continued, and with it, a new chapter in galactic history began. The future would be written not in the language of dominance and submission, but in the elegant mathematics of quantum harmony, where every species could find her own way to dance with the cosmic ballet. And somewhere, in the vast expanse of space, reality itself seemed to smile at the music of probability waves, dancing to the rhythm of human innovation and wisdom.